I've ducked out really quickly to pot up some of my veggie and flower seedlings into bigger pots so they can grow and I can transplant them straight into the garden. But we've got a homeschooling group today, so I need to do this real quick before I need to go get ready, because I am always late, because I always do things like this before I leave and then I end up running late. So I've got 45 minutes until I have to go inside and start getting ready. So I'm going to show you real quick what I'm going to be doing. So these are my seeds that I've sprouted in these trays. This is just cow poop and sand, equal parts mixed together. And I'm going to prick them out of their trays and then plant them into their own pots here so they can grow nice and big and not have their roots disturbed when I plant them into the ground. It's a little bit more time consuming doing it this way, but hopefully the rewards will pay off. And I don't like using plastic, but I am going to be reusing these cups. I just put a hole down the bottom so they can drain. The paper pots were great, but they were really time consuming to make each one individually. And then I found that when I was actually ripping up some of my garden, I didn't rip off the paper from each seed, and it kind of just stayed there, and the roots had to kind of live in this tiny little cylinder. So next time if I do the paper pots, I'll have to remove the entire bit of paper and then lay it on top as a bit of a mulch, but leaving it around the seed was a bit of a fail. I also wanted to show you my summer seeds that I'm growing through winter. The beans have all popped up. These are the 7-year beans. They were really old, so I planted them, but I didn't expect them to pop up. And I've got some more here. And I think the ones in the middle haven't grown yet, but that's okay. Maybe they're still growing. My zucchinis have all popped up. I've got 3 in here. I use a lot of zucchinis through winter. My kale seedlings have bounced back from whatever it is that ate their leaves. This one's got new ones at the top, and this one's growing them at the side. So hopefully they make a full recovery. I do have kale growing in my main garden outside, but I wanted to grow some in here too. I'm not sure if my capsicums are growing. That could be one there. Or could not be one there, I'm not sure. And I'm not entirely sure if that's my coriander or if it's just weeds. I'll wait till they get their true leaves, and same with the basil, not entirely sure. So these cucumbers have all sprouted. I've got 2 more here, but they haven't sprouted yet, but they are a different variety, so hopefully they will sprout. The tomato seedlings that I did just with cuttings from the main garden, this one had roots. I know because I pulled it out because I thought it was dead. The rest of them may not all take, but I know that I've got one that rooted up. So we'll just see how we go. Like this one here looks really dead, but who knows? I don't know. These ones here are the seedlings I rescued from the pig pen. They just grew from supermarket tomatoes. Not sure how good those tomatoes will be, but they're growing, they're flowering, they're fruiting, so all is well. It's actually going to be 27 degrees Celsius today, so it's quite hot. I'm going to have to leave the doors open in here, but I think things are going to respond really well to that, especially because it's creating its own atmosphere in here. It's very humid, and it's always very wet, even though I don't always water, maybe water 2 or 3 times a week with my irrigation lines there behind me. So I think everything's going to really take off today. The seeds are sprouted, so now they're just going to go full force. They've been planted straight into the ground, so the roots won't be disturbed except for that tomato I pulled out. So yeah, I think I'm going to have some really good growth this week, because it's going to be 27 today, tomorrow, and then down to 26 and 25, which is still great. So I'm really happy and really excited about this project, growing summer vegetables through winter. I also wanted to say that I've sown some really old seeds in here. They expired 2013 and 2016, which is old for brassicas. I find that they don't do well with older seed. Now this one here, I've had a few sprout. But as you can see, these are my in-date seeds, and look how big they've gotten. And I've already transplanted some of those. So in-date seeds definitely do much better with this family. But I've sown all my out-of-date seeds because there's no harm in trying that and just waiting patiently. And then I've jumped onto the seed collection and I ordered some in-date seeds. They've got really well-priced seeds, $1 a packet. So I got a few different broccolis and cauliflowers and cabbages because that's what I have that are out of date. So I'll get them in the ground this week when they arrive in the mail, but hopefully these will start growing and then I can successively plant my broccolis and collies because they provide one main crop and then you can get side shoots too. But we use a lot of broccoli, especially through winter, and collies and stuff like that. So I'm hoping to grow quite a bit of that this year. I've got my tallow candle here, but it's quite windy. I'm going to see if it will stay alight for me because I want to poke some holes in the bottom of these cups, and I think a hot metal skewer will be the best way to do it. If not, I'll just have to use the metal skewer without the heat. And here we go, my metal skewer. And my cup. Whoops, that didn't work. So there's my hole, and they can pot up. At least I only have to do this once. It's actually working really well. Just letting it heat up a bit longer. And the candle's surviving this wind, which is awesome. See if I can do this one-handed. But I found stacking the cups made them a bit more stable, so they didn't collapse on me when I pushed down. So let's see if I can do this one-handed. I couldn't go all the way through, but I got some of them. So it works quite well with the hot skewer. My potting mix here that I'm planting my starts into is a third dry cow poop, a third compost, and a third coarse sand. And so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to prick out one of these seedlings. Prick it out. Okay. That one hasn't got much of a root. Really little root. And then I'm just going to pop it in to one of these pots. I'm going to plant it in there. I'll do it when I've got two hands. Write what it is on this stick and put them in here so they can grow nice and big. I've got a few done out here and a few more inside. Another whole tray. But I better go get ready, otherwise I'll be late. Be coming back in here to pot up some more of my seeds.